Minister, last year we had the highest number of road deaths in 6 years, and tragically it looks like 2023 will surpass this figure. And while we need increased enforcement, we also need to recognise that driver error is one of the biggest causes of deaths on Irish roads. And we need to address this by utilising in-car technology that can significantly reduce road accidents and deaths.
Thanks very much, Deputy Naughten, for raising this important issue. And the rising trend in road deaths and injuries is of particular concern, and also the very serious trend and the numbers of vulnerable road users, and it's a great source of concern both to myself and to my colleague, Minister Ryan. Ensuring that the vehicles driven on our roads and each of the components of these vehicles are safe, roadworthy and designed to the highest possible technical standards is an important measure to reduce road traffic accidents and a vital part of our road safety strategy. The minimum standards which cars must meet are set down in type approval law. Type approval is the process to certify that a model of a vehicle meets all safety, environmental and conformity of production requirements before allowing it to be placed on the EU market. I agree with the Deputy that Ireland should promote the use of the safest vehicles with the most advanced safety features, including intelligent speed assistance, emergency lane keeping systems, dynamic cruise control and automated braking systems, amongst others. These systems have been found to be really effective in reducing fatalities, decreasing the number of road accidents and mitigating injuries and damage to other vehicles. There is already a legal requirement to restrict the sale of new cars without such systems. All new models of cars sold in the European Union have been obliged under the revised EU General Safety Regulation 2019-2144 to incorporate advanced driver assistance systems technologies as part of their design from July 2022, and this requirement will apply to all new cars from July 2024 onwards, whether a new model or not, meaning that all car manufacturers will be legally required to ensure any cars on sale in EU showrooms, including those in Ireland, have all mandatory advanced assist systems fitted. Updating vehicle stock with innovative safety technology in this way will ensure that the fleet becomes safer over time as older vehicles are phased out of circulation.
Minister, can I thank you for your response and the progress that's been made in this, and it's in the context of the Science Week presentation that members of the Oireachtas received from Professor Martin Mullins from the University of Limerick and Professor Martin Glavin from the University of Galway, who articulated to us how this technology, using artificial intelligence, can significantly reduce road deaths. Now, Minister, can I ask you, in that context, what can we do in relation to imported vehicles into the European Union to ensure that any second-hand vehicles coming onto the market within the European Union also comply with this? Because the reality is that many people cannot afford to purchase a new car. As a result of that, those that can't afford to purchase a new car could be facing much higher insurance premiums, as is the case of people on rural roads and in rural areas, because many of these technologies will not apply without having road markings.
Thanks very much, Deputy. And as I've said, the EU regulation on this updated the previous 2009 regulation on safety technologies, and it requires all cars, vans, trucks and buses to be equipped, in addition to tyre pressure monitoring systems, with a minimum safety system such as intelligent speed assistance, alcohol interlock installation facilitation, driver drowsiness and attention warning, advanced driver distraction warning, emergency stop signal, reversing detection, event data recorders, and advanced emergency braking and lane keeping assistance are also mandated for light-duty vehicles. Both must be capable of detecting first obstacles in vehicles moving in front of the vehicle, and at a second stage extend their detection capability to include pedestrians and cyclists in front of the vehicle. And obviously that applies to all new cars from July 2024, whether a new model or not, in the context of the European Union. In terms of the look back and in terms of the second hand and traded market, obviously the regulation is on new vehicles. We can engage it. Obviously it's a European position and European regulations. That's something we can have further engagement on the Commission on how they can retrospectively examine that. But it is, I suppose, when such European regulations are introduced, it is about, as the fleet circulation changes, it's about trying. Sorry, I'll come back on that. Yeah.
Minister, in that presentation, there was results given to us based on research on UK data, which showed that these technologies could reduce the overall number of accidents by close to 1/4, and that pedestrian accidents could be reduced by 28%. Now, if that was applied across all vehicles in Ireland today, the 42 people, as we know, sadly have lost their lives on Irish roads, pedestrians, the highest figures in the last 15 years. But that would be reduced by 12. There'd be 12 people walking around today if this technology was available. So what I'm asking you is, one, in relation to vehicles being imported from outside of the European Union, that the standards would also apply. And secondly, that we need to look at how we address the existing fleet on our roads, both in terms of safety and the financial implications this has for insurance of people who can't afford a new car or people who live in rural Ireland.
Thanks very much, and I was just about to come back on that. I will check the legal position on imported vehicles and how they're defined in the context, if it's a new imported vehicle or whether it's obviously if it's a new vehicle on a new car in an EU showroom, or whether it's an imported vehicle that's defined as a second-hand vehicle, how would that apply? Obviously, the current taxation position has drastically reduced the number of imported vehicles, as you know, but it is a fair point, and we don't want circumvention of the spirit of what the EU regulation sets out. So we'll check that point with the European Commission. On the general point of second-hand on other cars and having a retrospective position on that, obviously the EU regulation is on new vehicles. I think there should be a wider discussion with the European Union on how do we support those that can't afford a new vehicle benefit from such technology, and how could that look? And we'll engage with the European Commission on that point. I think it's
emissions as well, which Minister Ryan will be happy with.
Very good.